reason. And I'm Kortensia.
We begin today as usual with a look at the weather. We're going to see if it's different from yesterday. Remember my challenge? All right, so it's partly cloudy with 20% or slight chance of showers, high of 86 and a low of 72. And I swear to you, I read this yesterday. In any event, it's good weather anyway. All right, so our talking point. Well, yeah, let's talk. Let's begin that conversation.
What is your spirit animal?
My spirit animal is Jamie. I'm my own animal. I don't need to have another animal.
You don't?
There's a bad connotation somewhere there. Anyway, keep going. What's yours?
Yeah. I was telling the ladies this morning that I think mine would be a kangaroo. I guess because I'm so obsessed with Australia. And a kangaroo is caring. It sticks around its baby in its pouch. It stands and it wanders. That's me sometimes. And then it has a fighting spirit. So, yeah.
You're reminding me of every movie that I saw. And when we had the guys come here for the martial arts thing, we actually kicked each other. So
yeah, see?
It seems quite fitting that you're a kangaroo. Glad that didn't make it on its way to the camera. Anyway.
It did.
All right, so now we're moving on to the latest.
Now the latest in local news from SKNIS. The Ministry of Agriculture in St. Kitts and Nevis is embarking on an initiative to strengthen women's entrepreneurship in agriculture in 2022. The Honorable Alexis Jeffers, Minister of Agriculture, during the annual review planning meeting on Tuesday, February 2022, at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort stated, and I quote, "We from the ministry standpoint will in 2022 seek to provide assistance and a pathway for women to enter the agriculture sector and to harness their skills and the contribution that they can make in crop farming, fishing, livestock farming, agro-processing. Because we do feel that even though we have an abundance of male in the sector, we believe that the women can play an equally important role in advancing the sector," end quote. Minister Jeffers added that on this year's observance of International Women's Day, March the 8th, the ministry will roll out a program for women to be involved and play their meaningful part in the progress of agriculture in St. Kitts and Nevis. I thought we were already in the agricultural sector.
That's your line. My line is it's the year of the woman, but then I know it's always been, and I'm grateful that you're stepping up in different areas and people are accommodating that.
We are.
All right. All right. So our second story comes from WIN-FM. 15 young men and women from the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis will be taking a trip of a lifetime to Dubai in the United Arab Emirates next month to engage in cultural encounters, make educational discoveries, and enjoy immersive experiences. Their departure date is March 14th, 2022. The opportunity was afforded to them by the Department of Youth following a national essay competition. The competition was announced in December of last year during a sitting of the National Assembly by the Minister of Youth, the Honorable John L. Powell, who said, to allow fairness and transparency in the selection of who will travel to Dubai, the nationwide essay was launched. The theme of the essay is food, agriculture, and livelihoods, and the topic for the essay was how do we sustainably grow food to meet future demands. Minister Powell, in a brief dialogue with WIN-FM, said an orientation was held on Monday evening, February 21st, at the Solid Waste Conference Room. The Minister of Youth, via his Facebook page, confirmed that the group is made up of 9 young women and 6 young men, 11 from St. Kitts and 4 from Nevis. Their names are as follows: Christiane Hanley, Jadacia Green, Emma Jeffers, Muriel Knight, Aisha Duggins, Deshaun Newman, Delia Slack, Ricardo Rodriguez, Xavier Christopher, Kamani Phipps, Khadijah Prentice, Dominique Williams, Kia Phipps, Gianni Phipps, and Jamar Gubbs. Trip of a lifetime. I'm talking to the person who's traveled so many times, right?
That's me in the next 2 years to Dubai.
All right.
We continue with our third story. This from SKN Vibes. Despite the challenges posed by COVID-19 and the impact of closure of sporting activities have on the athletics locally, St. Kitts and Nevis Athletics is in the progress of selecting a team for the 2022 Carifta Games. This year's meet is slated for Kingston, Jamaica, and President Delwyn Delaney has given the assurance that a team would represent the Federation at the Premier Regional Junior Meet. And I quote, "Yes, we are preparing to journey to Jamaica for the 49th Carifta Games. Currently, we are in preparation mode and we will be preparing a training squad that will be overseen by the top coaches," end quote, he disclosed. The games have twice been delayed in as many years due to the challenges posed by the pandemic. Initially, the 2020 edition was scheduled to be staged in Hamilton, Bermuda, but a decision was made during the height of the pandemic that the territory could not host it. So, let the games begin or let the games continue?
Yeah, well, whatever you say.
Ladies and gentlemen, stick and stay with us. We will be right back. Good morning, SKN. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
I going out tonight. I got a hot date. He older than me, but I don't care. I like what he telling me. He say I look sweet and ting. What? You want me go home with him? Nice. Boy, I wonder if I'm ready for this. I notice he ain't got a condom, but I gonna go ahead, see? He might think me ain't like him or trust him. Plus, this my first time. Nothing gonna happen to me. Lord, how could I let this happen? I ain't ready for no child. Who gonna support me and my child? My man gone jail and mommy and daddy said they ain't gonna help. I all on my own. How could I be so careless? I wish I could go back to that now. But my education on hold. How could I let this happen? Don't let this happen to you. Contact the Department of Gender Affairs to find out about confidential offices and personnel available to answer questions about your sexuality or pre- or postnatal concerns.
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
You are watching Good Morning SKN. We now move on to the latest in regional news. Students return to classes after school closed due to gang violence. This from CMC. Students in the Haitian capital of Port-au-Prince are getting used to being back in class after gang violence closed their schools for 3 years. The Lycée National de la Saline, which reopened in January, is located in one of the poorest and most troubled, disadvantaged neighborhoods of Port-au-Prince. Some 5,000 people live in Les Salines. It closed after 5 armed gangs attacked the neighborhood on November 13th and 14th, 2018, leaving 26 people dead. The youngest victim was just 10 months old, and the oldest 72 years. In a report on the incident, the United Nations also said there were 2 cases of gang rape. According to the report, residents of Les Salines were, quote, allegedly targeted for their supposed affiliation to rival armed gangs, end quote. The school was shuttered in the wake of that attack. Selena Apollon is back at school now, but remembers the 2 days of attacks in 2018. Quote, it was a massacre. I was very afraid. Everyone was afraid. Fortunately, I didn't lose any family or friends, she said. Well, light at the end of the tunnel, we say, unfortunately.
One day. Now we continue with the international news. Breaking news. Russia invades Ukraine. This from Al Jazeera. Ukrainian President Zelensky said Russia has carried out missile strikes on Ukraine infrastructure and border guards, and that explosions have been heard in many cities. An official also reported non-stop cyber attacks. Zelensky said that martial law has been declared. Ukrainian media reported that military command centers in Kyiv and the city of Kharkiv in the northeast has been struck by missiles, while Russian troops had landed in the southern part of Odessa and Mariupol. Russian troops attacked Ukraine from Belarus as well as Russia with the Belarusian support, and an attack was also being launched from annexed Crimea, Ukraine's border guard service said. Russian-backed separatists in the east said they had captured 2 towns, the RIA News agency reported. The invasion triggered swift condemnation. U.S. President Joe Biden, who had ruled out putting U.S. troops on the ground in Ukraine, said Putin had chosen a premeditated war that would bring a catastrophic loss of life, and human suffering. He said he would speak to G7 leaders and promised Russia would be held accountable. Tongue-tied.
Tongue-tied. Well, this story would get anybody tongue-tied. I'm a little upset, to be honest with you. Thinking about, what it is that's going on.
Number 3. We don't need that.
but I can only see it escalating, to be honest with you. I don't think that any talks lead to de-escalation, but we'll monitor it and see.
Yeah, we will.
All right.
Indeed. Well, there you have it. That is the latest for today in local, regional, and international news. Stick and stay. Good morning, SKN. We'll be right back after these short commercials.
Let's face it, most parents or guardians don't want to think about their teens having sex, let alone contemplate the possibility that they might get pregnant or get someone pregnant. Teenage pregnancy is a situation that involves female adolescents. A teenage female can be pregnant as early as age 12 or 13, although it is usually 14 and older. The fact that teenagers become pregnant is related to many factors. Here are some tips to decrease teen pregnancy. Teach teenagers comprehensive sex education. Target messages at teen boys, not just girls. Get the whole community involved. Encourage mentoring, parental involvement, and support. This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
No cash, no card, no problem. Jad, embrace the freedom. No cash, no card, no problem. Jad, embrace the freedom.
Good morning, this is Carol from Lux Carnival, and I listen to Good Morning SKN.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao bango!
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Girls Care is a feminist climate activist movement that aims to create a space and empower young women to advocate for gender justice in climate action. Sarai Hutchinson is a national that hails from Keon, is a mentor of the Girls Care Young Women's Climate Change Program 2022. Sarai is currently pursuing a bachelor's degree with a major in biology and a minor in environmental science at the University of the Virgin Islands. Community development and youth activism are two of her greatest passions. The love of country underpins her strong desire to contribute towards building a cleaner, greener, more sustainable society. Today we have the pleasure of welcoming Sarai to Good Morning SKN's Connection. Good morning, Sarai. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for the wonderful intro.
You are certainly welcome. So let's begin. In 2021, you were a mentee of Girls Care. How did you become involved in the Girls Care Jamaica?
Okay, so I was initially introduced to the program by Dr. Joya Clark, who was also a mentor last semester. And she was my geography teacher in high school at Keon High. And she encouraged me to apply. And she knew I had a love for the environment. And luckily I did. And I was selected as one of the 25 mentees.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Congrats, by the way, on your selection.
Thank you.
Indeed. Very noble indeed. You are also a mentor of this year's climate campaign, Sarai. How did you build awareness through your mentorship program, or how are you continuing to build awareness through your mentorship program?
For me, I have been doing it more passively. On campus, I'm a part of the Gardening LLC, the Living Learning Community, and it's basically encouraging people to create green spaces around them as one aspect of reducing the climate issue here. I'm also, I've also, for my final project, I did a webinar on colonialism and how it impacts climate justice here in the Caribbean. And I was able to network with different people around the Caribbean to discuss this issue.
Sarai, I need to ask you a follow-up because those are two seemingly opposite things. So what can you tell us about that, the linkages that you found and that you spoke about?
Well, for colonialism and climate justice, basically showing how many Caribbean countries were not privy to the different services to help them with preparing themselves for, sorry about that. So basically, many countries were under colonialism. So basically, they didn't have the political structures in place to help them to deal with it. And so what we found is that a lot of countries have poor waste management, and that then encourages or contributes to pollution of the atmosphere, pollution of the ocean, and so forth. And it kind of all started or is highly impacted by colonialism because we still haven't created the facilities to deal with it.
And now I understand. Thank you.
So, Sarai, do you have any mentees of your own?
I should have one mentee. The actual person has not been given to me as yet, but I should be finding out in a couple days.
Okay, I see you're looking excited. So you're looking forward to that.
Yes.
So let's talk about your ultimate career goal of being an environmental biologist. Where did your passion for the environment come from? That's one thing. And how do you see yourself continuing the cause that you have brought to light, basically, as you enter the profession?
Well, I would say my love for the environment came from a very young age. I would always go to the farm with my mom and my grandma, and just basically, I was privy to first-hand information of how we do things on a farm. Sometimes it's not very efficient or environmental. It's very doing it just to get it done. And for my career goal as an environmental biologist, I basically want to help to create better processes especially for agriculture. I also wanted to to do some biotechnology because I have had some research experience last semester, or rather last summer, with an organization about the ocean and corals and how diseases have been increased here in the Virgin Islands and also the Caribbean at large. And a major factor, a contributing factor, is climate change and the warming oceans.
This is all so very engaging. I can see that you would fit right in. You're convincing me. I love your passion for the environment. And you know what? We're not done talking yet. We're going to take a very brief break, and we'll be back to talk with you more after it. Stay tuned, everyone. More with Sarah in a flash.
Everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart. And always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
I wear a mask because I want to protect my child, but also I want to protect his classmates and his teachers.
I wear a mask because I care about the frontline workers who will have to work even harder if those around me get sick.
I wear a mask to protect my family. I wear a mask to protect you. I wear a mask because it is the right thing to do.
I wear a mask because I don't want to put any vulnerable individuals at risk, like my elderly loved ones.
I wear a mask because
we are all in this together.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We were talking with Sarai before the break, and I delved in a little into her past. And she was telling me before she was into pageantry, and she wanted to be a forensic pathologist. So Sarai, can you tell me why did you change from that to being an environmental biologist?
Well, my love for forensic pathologists came from TV shows, and I just really like the idea of helping families to find closure. But as I became more exposed to the field of environmental science and just learning about climate change, it really gave me an about turn and led me to want to be a part of that movement and to have a change.
And now we're going to turn a page very quickly to talk about the Life Wave 3, the work that you've done there. What can you tell us about that?
The Life at UVI?
Life Wave 3. Oh, you're not hearing
sorry.
it. All right. So let me read it from this one. We're speaking to the protection of Life Wave 3 through the implementation of environmental initiatives. Do you already have in mind how you would accomplish that?
Personally, I do not have a set goal in how to implement it. But recently I had an idea for an event here at UVI to reduce littering on campus or rather on the beach that is right below St. Thomas campus. And it would be like a study, an observational study to see how putting up signs could impact the pollution on the beach.
Great.
Okay, so what is school like in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and do you take part in any extracurricular activities?
Yes, school is pretty great. This is actually my last semester at UVI. Should be graduating soon.
Already?
But I'm also a resident assistant for the West Hall. And I'm also the Student Government Association Academic Grievance Committee Chairperson. Yes.
That sounds so engaging.
Yeah.
Academic grievance.
You wear many hats. You wear many hats, I must say.
I do. But going back to Girls Care, I just wanted to also mention that we actually got more publicity after the first mentorship batch, and we were actually we received funding from Rihanna's Clara Lionel Foundation as one of the 18 Caribbean organizations based on climate activism. Yeah.
I don't know how you find the time to do all of this, and I can imagine that you'll be even busier once you actually enter the field. All right, so did the biology and environmental science program meet your expectations, or are they tough?
I would say it did meet my expectations. There are many opportunities here at UVI with the biology program. These are the small class sizes. I have direct connection to my professors, and I've actually formed a bond with a few of my professors. And that is how I got to do my research in the summer. What I learned was that many universities don't have access to more students don't have access to research opportunities in the summer, but at UVI, that is not the case. Okay. And that's how I was able to do stuff about environmental, about the stony coral tissue loss disease for coral research, and also did some frog research in 2020. Yeah.
So I want to know, which did you become interested first, your science program at UVI or the Girls Care? And can you tell me why?
Well, technically, I started UVI in 2019, fall of 2019. So I would say the science program first, but I would say it was kind of heightened after I was a member of Girls Care, because I got to network with so many people and hear the different perspectives for climate justice, journalism, how we could actually communicate in climate change via blogs. And I've met a lot of movement builders, people who have created different organizations across the Caribbean. And actually some of our mentors, the mentors for this semester, actually have their own organizations. And they are helping women and young girls all across the Caribbean.
That's very nice. One more thing I need to ask, how old do the mentees start?
For this round, the youngest person is about 16 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, so about 16.
Oh.
If you had to think about the lessons that you've learned from your experiences, everything that you've done so far, and particularly you're working with young ladies, what would you say the top lesson is, the best takeaway for you?
Be confident in your actions, and no action is too small. No impact is too small. Your impact as a human being can be felt to whether it's one person. So for me, my climate action has just been small things. I talk to people one-on-one, basically encouraging them and teaching them about climate change and its impacts. And so actually my senior seminar presentation was on the impact of climate change on bananas, or rather the future impact. Because I love bananas, and bananas are also a big crop here in the Caribbean. So doing it whatever way, shape, or form is the best thing.
I love the way that you're finding linkages and you're making it relevant. And I know that you will do so well.
She is keeping them together.
Absolutely. Sarah, it's been an honor talking to you. It's been an absolute pleasure. All the best for your final semester. You know what? Yeah, take it all the way. All right. Best of luck to you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Good morning, SKN. In a moment, everyone. Stay tuned.
Everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart. And always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
Where are you going? I just mopped the floor and now the chair leaving marks all over the place. Come on, go in bed, see? Sometimes I just can't take you on.
Violence is expressed in many ways. Most, unfortunately, go unreported or unaddressed for many reasons. If you or someone disabled is being abused, contact the police at 465-2241, social services at 467-1314, or the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons at 465-2151, 663-9077, or 663-4116. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I come in Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the doorway or any exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care of yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drops and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
These teen boys nowadays get me so upset. I see these teen girls with their big bellies and you want to tell me y'all couldn't protect her and yourself? Come on. Now don't tell me no stupidness about you feel embarrassed about getting a pack of condoms or asking somebody for one. That ain't nothing to be ashamed about. You should be proud that you are making a wise decision, but you still have to abstain from having sex with someone under the age of consent. If your boys are pressuring you to have sex and you don't want to, then don't. You are in charge of your life, not them. I heard another one saying it's sweeter without a condom. But my granny always told me, no glove, no love. So let me tell you something. It's sweeter to have money in your pockets and not have to support a child at that young age. Before I say anything else, the best way to prevent teenage pregnancy is to abstain. In other words, no do it. Let me talk to the big men troubling underage girls.
Why you sleeping with your daughter? You're not live clean. Your girl at 16, and your daughter at 13. So girl a look me, but me know in that. Big man no deal with back pamba.
You understand where I'm coming from, right?
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. There are often tales of deer on the island of St. Kitts. Not just tales, because I've actually seen them.
Me too.
For many of you, however, you might not have actually glimpsed them, but the presence of the white-tailed deer remains a myth. That's what some people say. These sightings are not just the phantom, however. Deer actually live on St. Kitts. They have been on the island since the 1930s. Records indicate that the white-tailed deer, in particular, have been on the island since 1931, and currently these deer reside in the Dale Mountain Range from Canada to Bayfords to the tip of the Southeast Peninsula, and that's actually where I saw it. Deer are the only mammal protected by law in St. Kitts. This is so very fascinating. And there are others protected by the law in the Federation, however. Today, we have the pleasure of welcoming Dr. Eric Brown, Forestry Officer in the Department of Environment, to share more on the status of the protected animals here on the island. I would say welcome to you.
Well, good day. Thank you for having me on your program today.
Indeed. So, again, many individuals have occasionally seen pictures of deer on the roadside having been hit by vehicles, and as a forestry officer, do you see them often inside the rainforest, or... Are they in the rainforest, or are they just in that particular area, Canada to Bayfords area?
The deers are not found in the rainforest. As you say, they ranges from the Canada Hills to the Southeast Peninsula. That area is not considered rainforest. That is dry woodland, actually. And it's a relatively dry area. But they're there because of the history behind them. A bit of history that, as you have said before, reports show that they were introduced in 1931 and by Mr. Philip Todd. They were actually introduced at the large estate, but they were brought in for gaming, actually for hunting purposes. But to release them in that countryside, that open countryside, would have been quite destructive, especially to the main crop at the time, which was sugarcane. Because the deer have their diet is very wide. So what they did, soon after they were introduced, they were released in the Frigate Bay area. Now, Frigate Bay at that time is nothing like what it is today. That area was mainly used for two purposes. Grazing, cattle grazing, and also for salt mining. And so it was just open country and ideal to have a game, wild game, released in that area. Their historical range is from the Canada Hills. You could also picture that back then, that whole area from Canada, we're talking about Canada, Keys area, going back towards the Southeast Peninsula, was mostly uninhabited, really. So it was okay for them to go back and forth. Today, they still do it. They still use corridors to go back and forth. Now, one will say, how is it you don't see them going back and forth? Is that our deer population seems to have evolved and growing differently from the population that they came out of in the U.S. Whereas in the U.S., they would normally roam during the day. Whereas our population seem to have adapted to roam at night. And that would facilitate them going back and forth, right, without coming to much contact with humans, right? While you're sleeping, they're out roaming.
They're moving.
Right? So you find our deer population, one will wonder, why is it that they are the only protected mammal? They are not the only protected animals, but the only protected mammal. It's quite interesting how that came about. You see, what happened is that when they wanted to develop the Frigate Bay Peninsula area, an assessment was done. The first assessment was done in 1985 in the Frigate Bay area because the thought was now not only St. Kitts but other Caribbean countries were looking at tourism as an avenue, right? So to develop. So they looked at the Frigate Bay area and thought, okay, let us do an assessment there. And they did an assessment, and in that assessment, they found that there is when the deer actually was recognized once more. Because from the time of release to them, there was nothing recorded to say about them until this assessment was done. And the assessment was brought to light that the deer was there and it could be a species of interest, especially for tourism. And so they look at it as a species that needs to be preserved or conserved. And so in their report, they recommended that to happen. Now, with that assessment done, with a case study in Frigate Bay, then they decided that they're going to go ahead and move forward with the development of the Southeast Peninsula. Now, in doing so, there was no highway, there was no road, there were just tracks. So they wanted to construct this highway, but they needed funding. So USAID was approached for that. But based on the report with respect to the deer and that it would be a species of interest, in the negotiation it came out that in order to access the funds, some sort of protection had to be given to the environment. And so they decided that they would give protection to the deer as well as the birds. And from there, we had in 1987, we had the National Conservation, let me get it right there, the National Conservation and Environmental Protection Act, what we call NCEPA, that came into being, and in that act is where it stated that the deer will be protected as well as the birds. All birds on St. Kitts are protected except farm species. So all the birds, the doves and everything you see going about, which is why back then you find that youths, we were able to walk around without catapult and shoot birds. But then once that came into being, we were no longer allowed to use the catapult.
Very fascinating indeed, Dr. Brown. We'll be back to talk with you more about this in a moment, everyone. Stay tuned.
These teen boys nowadays get me so upset. I see these teen girls with their big bellies and you want to tell me y'all couldn't protect her and yourself? Come on. Now don't tell me no stupidness about you feel embarrassed about getting a pack of condoms or asking somebody for one. That ain't nothing to be ashamed about. You should be proud that you are making a wise decision, but you still have to abstain from having sex with someone under the age of consent. If your boys are pressuring you to have sex and you don't want to, then don't. You are in charge of your life, not them. I heard another one saying it's sweeter without a condom. But my granny always told me, no glove, no love. So let me tell you something. It's sweeter to have money in your pockets and not have to support a child at that young age. Before I say anything else, the best way to prevent teenage pregnancy is to abstain. In other words, no do it. Let me talk to the big men troubling underage girls.
Why you sleeping with your daughter? You not live clean. Your girl at 16 and your daughter at 13. So y'all look me, but me know you know that. Big man no deal with back pan back.
You understand where I'm coming from, right?
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We are having a discussion with Dr. Eric Brown about protected animals in St. Kitts. We happen to have a short video of you taking care of a fawn. Let's have a look.
I'm inclined to say that it was so short that we barely saw it.
I know. So how is the fawn doing now, Dr. Brown?
Unfortunately, that fawn did not survive.
Wow.
What happened, it was struck by a vehicle and it had severe head trauma.
Oh, wow.
So therefore, it only lasted a few days, right? It started picking up, but then because of the head trauma, it quickly deteriorated. And so we lost that one, unfortunately.
All right, so that head trauma was as a result of
an accident. He got struck by a vehicle.
In the peninsula area?
In the peninsula area.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, speaking of, protecting the animals, what can you tell us about the sections of the Act?
Well, permit me to actually read that section of the Act because most persons do not know that this Act exists and what it entails. That section is called Part 8, Protection of Wild Animals and Birds. In this part, wild animal or wild bird means any animal or bird specified in the Schedule 3. Schedule 3 has a list of birds, and the only mammal there is the white-tailed deer. It says in Section 41, any person who willfully kills, wounds, or takes any wild animal or wild bird specified in Schedule 3, takes, removes, injures, or destroys any nest or egg of a wild bird specified in Schedule 3, or exposes for sale or knowingly has in possession any wild animal or wild bird specified in Schedule 3, or any part of such animal or bird taken, wounded, or killed in St. Christopher Nevis after commencement of this Act, or exposes or attempts to export the skin or plumage of any wild animal or wild bird taken, wounded, or killed, or the nests or eggs of any such animal or bird taken from St. Christopher Nevis after the commencement of this Act in relation to wild animals and wild birds specified in Schedule 3 shall be guilty of an offense under this Act. Any person convicted of an offense under Section 41, which is what I just read, of this Act is liable to a fine not exceeding $1,000 or to a period of imprisonment not exceeding 1 month or both, and shall also be liable for forfeiture of any article or thing or firearm by which the offense had been committed. Where any person is legally proceeded against for exposing or offering for sale or having in his possession or exporting or attempting to export any wild animal or wild bird or any part of such animal, bird, or the nest or egg, the proof of such animal or bird was taken, wounded, or killed in St. Christopher shall be on such person.
You don't need anything much clearer than that.
Which means if I catch you with parts of these protected animals, you have to prove that it was not taken in St. Kitts.
That's the law for you.
The reason why I wanted to read that is that persons like to say, I get it from here. You go prove to me that. No, according to here, you have to prove to the authorities
Where you got it from.
the contrary to what I'm accusing you of.
So here's the question. In terms of reporting mechanisms that are in place for offenses of this nature, do people usually call the forestry office or do they call the police? What's the nature of it?
Traditionally, if, like, say, animal gets knocked down, traditionally, we don't hear about it. But since we started with the awareness campaign to let the public know that they are there, they are protected with the advent of cell phones and, Facebook, persons are now becoming aware. So when they get struck there, I get calls.
Okay.
Even at 3 o'clock in the morning, I would get calls. There's a deer on the side of the road. I go for it. I look at it. If it's still alive, if it's dead, then I take care of it. But we're getting more and more persons who are reporting them, right? They call us. Sometimes they would call us, university. And so we want folks to know, whenever you encounter these animals, there's an issue, you can call us at the Department of Environment. You can call the forestry officer.
All right. The video that I alluded to before is actually ready, so we're going to take a look at it now.
She actually looks strong for real. Look at that. Drinking from the water.
Yes, we were just looking at that. Interesting, wasn't it?
Very interesting, because she looked like she actually was doing well.
At that point, yes, she was doing pretty well. As a matter of fact, that same day, where after giving the bottle, she actually was eating leaves on her own as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so in closing, one last question. Other than the deers, are there any other animals that you are responsible for?
Well, all other wildlife. Okay. All other wildlife also being protected under this act as well.
Okay.
They are also protected. Other mammals, no.
Okay.
Other invertebrates and that, they're also not also protected, right? According to the schedule 3, is mainly birds and the white-tailed deer that are protected.
Okay.
One would ask also the level of protection that we give to what are endangered. And the main one is the sea turtles.
Okay.
And those are all endangered. The thing is that with the turtle, on the books, there's still a hunting season, right? But because the numbers are so low, we're encouraging folks, even then, to leave the turtles alone so their numbers can build back. And we have a number of areas like the Keys Beach, Friars Bay, over Nevis, a lot of their beaches also, where the turtle will come and they would nest. And we're encouraging folks, let them be, so that they can also build back up. Back then, person used to hunt it, hunt the turtle, for food. Back then we don't understand any meat count. But I think today we can do without that particular meat, And so we'll just let them strive and let them continue to be the vital part of the ecosystem.
Okay, well, Dr. Brown, you were very informative today. Thank you for coming by. Now, everybody knows that they can't just mess with the animals anymore. We have laws that are enforced. So thank you for coming by and speaking with us. We hope to speak with you sometime again.
I would like to emphasize persons, when you're going into what I call deer country, Southeast Peninsula, drive with caution.
Okay.
Look out for the deer. They comes out at night, right? But you can see them occasionally in the day.
Okay.
Look out for them.
Okay.
I go and I look at them in the night. I use my flashlight because when the light hit their eyes in the bush, they lights up like 2 light beams looking back at you. But also, 12%, according to the act, if you shoot a deer, I can confiscate your firearm. If you have it in your car, in your pickup truck, I can impound your vehicle. Whatever you're using, I can, to commit or violate this act, can be confiscated. And remember, you is the one who has to prove me wrong.
Thank you once again. Ladies and gentlemen, stick and stay. We will be right back after these messages.
Good afternoon. And to what do I owe the pleasure of your visit today?
Good afternoon. After finding a lump, I visited the health center to see a nurse, and she found a lump as well. Doc, do you think this is the big C? I shouldn't have cancer. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Nobody in my family has ever had cancer.
Slow down, not so fast. Not every lump of the breast is cancerous. The breast goes through a number of changes. It can be a piece of fatty tissue or some other non-cancerous lump of the breast. Either way, I'll have to examine you first to make sure.
Okay. I did not know I was supposed to examine my breast myself.
Yes, the self-breast examination is very revealing. It is the first step in diagnosis. It is important to self-examine your breasts once monthly after you've had your period. That way, you would know how your normal, healthy breasts feel and be able to detect any changes early. If any abnormality is detected, there are more defining tests such as the ultrasound and/or mammogram.
Mammogram? No, I've heard that mammogram thing hurts badly.
I'm sure that most of what you've heard about the mammograms are exaggerated encounters. Here's the referral. Take it to the facility. Before the exam begins, you will have to fill out a short pre-test questionnaire. Let the doctor know if there's a possibility of pregnancy. Leave jewelry at home and wear loose, comfortable clothing. Don't wear deodorant, talcum powder, or lotion under your arms or on your breasts, as these may appear on the mammogram and interfere with correct diagnosis. During the exam, each breast is compressed horizontally between two plates for imaging and then diagonally for further imaging as needed. So how was the experience?
It's not what I expected. My teenage sister found a lump in her breast. Should she get a mammogram too?
All lumps of the breast and changes should be investigated. A mammogram is recommended once a year for every woman aged 40 and over, even younger if there's a family history.
Oh, gee. Women have to endure a lot.
Men have to check their breasts too.
Yeah?
Yes, some men do get breast cancer too. So remember, get checked today. Early detection saves lives.
Self-health management refers to the measures people take to manage their own health. You and I should remember to wash hands often with soap and water, or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid touching your eyes, mouth, and nose. Take your temperature morning and evening. Watch for symptoms. Persons with diabetes or hypertension are reminded to take your medication regularly as prescribed. If you have no symptoms, you may carry out your normal routine and boost your immune system. When you are outside, avoid public spaces and wear a mask at all times. If you develop symptoms, put on a mask and seek medical care. Do not take public transportation. Inform the doctor of your travel history, any contact with confirmed or suspected cases, your occupation, and whether anyone around you has similar symptoms. If you become ill, please rest at home. Wear a mask and isolate yourself from others in your household. If you share a bathroom, disinfect daily using 1 part bleach to 10 parts water. Everyone must work together to reduce the spread of the coronavirus.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN, and thank you for staying with us. It's time to loosen up. Today we are joined by Dr. Eric Brown, Forestry Officer in the Department of Environment. In our previous segment, we discussed with Dr. Brown all the protected animals in the Federation. Well, for Loosen Up today, we are going to put our animal knowledge to the test. We are going to be presented with an animal fun fact, and we're going to see which one of us can guess which animal fun fact it's related to. So let's begin, gentlemen. I'm gonna win anyways.
Well, that's what you say. It's really hey.
I am going to it.
This from the person who says her spirit animal is a kangaroo.
Yes, it's a kangaroo. It is a kangaroo.
Just make sure you mention animals that are in St. Kitts, eh?
Well,
We'll
maybe you
see
never
about
know.
that,
We just might have a kangaroo in the hills, Dr.
It
Brown.
doesn't look like that, so I don't think you have to worry about anybody stripping your PhD because they might not be in St. Kitts. Here we go, the first one. Which animal has the largest population? Is it cows, ants, chicken, or humans? And it's my turn, correct? I think we're going individually. Okay, so I have to guess this one. The options again are cows, ants, humans, and I forgot the third. Can I see that again? Okay, chicken. Wow. I'm gonna say ants. Yes. Having been bitten one time too many, I figure it was ants. All right, so I got that one, Kortensia. We're off to a good start.
Look at you. A great start, I must say. A great start. Which animal has the most teeth? Shark, flounder, whale, or catfish? I'm tempted to go with the whale.
Catfish. That is a catfish. And it has the most teeth, and you can see them. They're really tiny at the bottom.
Yeah, really. I never knew that. Okay, I learned something today. That's good. Every day we learn
Remember,
something
a catfish
new.
is not a cat, eh?
Good point.
I like that one. I like that one. I like that one.
All right, so we're waiting for. All right.
It's your turn, Dr.
Brown. I'll read it. This animal cannot jump. It's a zebra, kangaroo, lizard, or elephant. What's your selection, Dr. Brown?
I'll go with elephant. The size of that fella there.
All right, let's see what it is.
Really?
Yes.
I thought they put up the
Elephants jump.
the
They,
Yeah, but they're not gonna jump.
But jump means you have to come off the ground, you know.
Okay. All right. I can take that one.
Could you imagine? The earth is going to shake if they do.
Indeed.
And we are continuing. This one is my question again. This animal has rectangular pupils. I never knew that animals have rectangular pupils. So this is going to be very interesting for me. We've got the cow, the cat, the goat, and the butterfly. 3 of these things are mammals. 1, I suspect, isn't. I'll go with the butterfly. Let's see. Wow. Rectangular pupils.
What?
I did not know that. I learned something new as well.
Dr. Brown, did you know that?
Yes.
Oh man, I forgot. I shouldn't even ask that.
You realize what you said, right? Dr. Brown.
I know.
Do you know that?
I know.
I suspect now they're going to put something that I don't know.
No, man.
So Kortensia, you're coming up
Yeah,
next.
I'm
Let's see what
waiting.
you got. Let's see what you got.
This animal has an immortal species. Jellyfish, eel, clam, worm. Wow. Immortal, you say? Ooh la la. Worm?
That's your option. Wow.
I should have said that, I wanted to, but then
Immortal
they die.
species.
I see them on the beach, so I didn't think so. How is it immortal then?
That's the next trivia question, I suppose. Because we don't have the answer. We don't have the answer.
I hope that is not my question.
I got it, Dr. Brown. So we're going to see what the option is for Dr. Brown. And again, I'll read this one. Which animal is the deadliest? Is it a shark, a hippo, a mosquito, or a crocodile? The deadliest animal, Dr. Brown.
Wow. The deadliest.
I think they're each deadly in their own right.
They're all deadly in their own right.
But which one is the deadliest?
Which one is the deadliest?
Let's see those options again, please.
Shark, hippo, mosquito, crocodile.
I'll go with the hippo.
Okay, selection is in. The doctor has selected the hippo, and it's a mosquito. Yeah.
Because of the disease that it spreads, I guess.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay,
And its mobility and everything.
Precisely.
I said the hippo because the hippo could actually kill a crocodile.
Okay, that makes sense.
It could actually kill a crocodile. Sharks, and as their killing power is actually overrated.
Yeah.
Because they are not as aggressive as persons make them out to be.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so this one is my question again. This animal can have 9 brains. Wow, where do you find these? This is trivia?
brains?
I thought trivia things would be things that people normally know, right? This animal can have 9 brains. Okay, we've got the octopus, the leech, the squid, and the moth. 9 brains.
9 brains, wow.
8 tentacles. I'm just doing the math here. I'm doing the math. What do I got?
You are thinking too hard.
This is like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's go with the moth just because.
You should have stuck to your 8.
You know,
Yeah, you should have stuck.
You see,
because
the tentacles should have given it up.
and the head is a 9, right? Aha! You had it. You should have stuck with it.
You should have stuck
You're
with
right.
it.
You're absolutely right. It makes sense now.
Yeah.
Because the tentacles tends to move independently as well. Because of that, yes.
Gotcha.
Which animal has transparent fur? The zebra, the polar bear, the Arctic fox, or the rabbit? Transparent. I'm gonna go with the zebra.
Somehow I don't think you're right, but you might be. I'm thinking Arctic, yeah. Just because of
he
where it
mixes
is.
with the snow.
Yes, exactly. Oh.
Revelations
What did-
thereafter.
What did you say? You were going to win this one? Okay, we're good.
Oh my
You're off to a great start.
Thank you, Jamie.
They're
Thank
not
you.
estimating more animals in sync. What?
I know. We need another one. Maybe we'll contact you for this. I'll leave your question, Dr. Brown. This animal has the strongest bite force. The shark, the gorilla, the crocodile, and the tiger. And here we are again with human sharks and crocodiles.
Crocodile.
The doctor says the crocodile has the strongest bite force. And the
Let's
answer
see.
is... Oh, wow.
What?
There's a reason I don't go into the water often.
Blame it on the sharks. Blame it on the sharks, Jamie.
There's a reason I didn't go.
Yeah, but there's no... Unless it's a tiger shark, you're pretty fine, really.
Really?
Okay. I gotta say, those sightings that we had a few months ago, a little scary. Anyway, animal trivia. Which female animal is called you? I ought to know this one. I think it is the sheep.
Oh, look at you getting the sheep right.
Look at you getting the sheep right. Okay. All right, so I got that one.
Which animal can sleep for up to 3 years?
Shouldn't I be up there? I would like that
Oh my
to
god.
be me right now. All right, so the options.
The armadillo. Snail, sorry. The options are snail, armadillo, squirrel, and koala. I'm gonna go with the armadillo.
Really?
And they're always moving? Oh.
Yeah, there are a few of them here, so we're getting local.
Because they're so slow, they can conserve their energy.
Oh, so
that
they're
makes sense.
sleeping and still moving?
No, because you see how slow they are, they don't use up as much energy.
Right.
Oh, okay. Learned
Right.
something else today, but I'm really losing. Ooh.
All right, Dr. Brown, this is you. Which animal shell is attached to its skin? Sea urchin, turtle, shrimp, or crab?
That will be the sea urchin.
All right. The doctor has selected.
The turtle.
It is the turtle.
Yeah,
The
look.
skin is attached to its shell.
So
So this doesn't come, like the land turtle? So the land turtle shell is not attached to the skin, is it? Wow.
That's what I was thinking too, so I picked what you
should have
did.
said turtle because the leatherback especially.
Oh, they're attached.
Yeah, the leatherback is, you can define the difference actually.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
yes.
So those are the same turtles that nest here on St. Kitts, right?
The leatherback as well as the hawkbill.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah, I know the hawksbill from Antigua. Yeah, that one. Do we have any more, guys?
And the leatherback is the largest
Of the
turtle.
two. Okay.
Not just what's in Hachi, but in general.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we're going to get an official count in the next few moments. Do you...
What, they were counting?
They were counting,
They were
yeah.
counting,
this
yeah.
is a competition. So
I should have known they were counting.
So our official count, if I am starting from
0 is not hard to count for me.
I was gonna say
zero is not hard to count.
You didn't get 0, Dr. Brown. You got some points. You are on the board. You got some points.
What's taking him so long to put up 0?
So here we go. Dr. Brown, you have 2 points. Kortensia, you have no points. And I have 2 points as well, so it's a 2-way tie.
Look at that. And I said I was going to win.
You see, we're men, we wear tie.
I like that comeback.
That's good.
I like that comeback.
Every day but today,
I like that comeback. I like that one. So congrats, gents. I will say congrats.
Dr. Brown, thank you so much. And yes, you're not a sore loser. That's good to know.
Yep.
Round 2 coming up sometime in the future, perhaps when you come back.
Oh, yes. I would love that. I would love that.
It's been our pleasure having you on Good
I
Morning.
got to pull out my encyclopedia for next
time. Oh, of course. Please do. Please do. More Good Morning SKN in a moment, everyone. Stay tuned.
Hey, my friend, what going on?
Not a thing. I just here cooling under this tree, about to eat a mango or two.
Where you get mango from all now?
Boy, Auntie Rose bring me some mango this morning.
Oh, gosh. What you hit me for?
You give me something to put on?
Girl, you can't just come tempting me with these juicy round pally mangoes and expect me not to want some.
Just because something looks appealing and you want it, doesn't mean you're entitled to it and that you should touch or take it. Your mother ain't teach you manners. Ask for consent first before you touch up the mango them.
But why ask? And if it's there, it's there. Just take it. Why ask?
Simple. If it is mine and you ain't asked for it, it is called, wait for it, stealing.
That's true. My bad. Okay. May I please have some mangoes?
I don't know. After that spectacle, I ain't sure I want to give you any.
You see that? But I ask.
Just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give. It is still my mangoes.
So what you tell me ask for then?
Because consent is everything. Had you asked first, I would have been more inclined to give you one. And just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give you. You got it?
Okay, I got it. Now, may I please have some mangoes?
Only because you're my friend and I like you. But that still don't mean you're entitled to it.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
Good. Don't leave your mango skin on the ground, eh?
If you understand the importance of asking for someone's consent for a mango, then it shouldn't be too hard to understand consent when it comes to sex. The power of consent is everything. Ask first. If you or a friend has been sexually assaulted, please call 465-5000 for the Counseling Center.
This message was brought to you by No Judgment SKN and sponsored by the Basic Needs Trust Fund, the Department of Gender Affairs, and the Caribbean Development Bank.
I'm here to St. Kitts, Nevis, with a name for us I represent for the Ministry of Health. Yeah. Respect the COVID protocols. In a time like this, all for one for all. St. Kitts, Nevis. Don't forget your mask. Wear it everywhere you go. Sanitize before and after everything you do. Cause you never know what's on the surface of the places you go. Maintain a safe social distance between me and you. Keep calm and stay focused. Don't be a fool, seek the facts first. And boost your immune system up. Don't wanna lose no more of us. Mask up, furlough, sanitize, observe the protocols all about. Be wise, mask up, furlough, sanitize. Me family fitting boat and you. Blessed love and greetings. This is Infamous, and I am here to encourage every Kittitian and Nivision to remember that we have our part to play in the fight against COVID-19. So sanitize, wear your face mask, practice social distancing, and go and get vaccinated. For me, no know about you, but me love think it's bad. Easy no man.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Carla Astafan is a multi-talented individual. She's the owner and sole potter at the Potter's House, which offers pottery ranging in size and colors. She's a poet and board member of the Professional Association for Creativity and Entertainment, PACE. Carla is also the chairperson of the St. Kitts and Nevis Reparations Committee, among her many other pursuits. Today, we have the pleasure of welcoming her to Good Morning SKN's Expressions.
Morning, welcome.
Good morning, Jamie. Good morning.
It is such an honor to have you here in the studio, Carla. Let's talk about pottery for a moment and your love of it, which I'm sure goes back many, many years.
Yes, as I was driving here this morning, I pondered on that. So I started doing pottery back in 1993. There was a workshop held here. It was the Venezuelan Institute for Culture and Cooperation. They held a workshop at their place at Greenlands, and I attended the morning sessions. I think overall there were about 35 of us who attended. It was a potter and sculptor came from Venezuela and taught that pottery workshop, of which I was a part. There I met other like-minded individuals like Mary House and Dennis Richards. And after the workshop, we lost all our work because we used clay from St. Kitts. We dug clay from Connery and from the hillside at the time they were building. I can't remember if they were still in the process of building the Kennedy Simmons Highway, but we dug clay from the sides there. And he chose to do what you call a pit firing at the beach. So the next day when we went back, there was nothing, absolutely nothing. So
pictures of it?
I can't recall whether we had pictures or not, but I decided I wanted to do my pottery again. So Mary is a Peace Corps volunteer, and she had already gone to Nevis and had seen the work that was being done in Nevis. So we used to make pilgrimages over to Nevis, and we would get out clay and start doing work. So that was how I started 29 years ago, 1993.
And to think of the way that you've evolved.
Is that?
I know. I'm thinking the same thing too. And to
way
see
that
that
you've
you're the only remaining potter, or the premier potter, I should say, of St. Kitts, because everything that I hear with pottery,
Yes.
I hear Carla Astafan behind it.
Well, other potters have followed in the wake, and there were Nevis. I used to go over to Nevis. There's the Newcastle pottery, and there was an old lady who I spent a day with, Miss Queely. I think she's now passed on, may her soul rest. So she was making these traditional Nevis pots. But I tried to do that. I tried to make Nevis pots, but my soul, my vibe wasn't going in that vein. At that time, I was making a lot of masks, and I would make handmade cups and, that sort of thing, pots. And then Mary went to Dominica, where I'm from, the following year, 1994. And she said, Carla, there's a pottery in Dominica. So I followed like about a week or two later and went to the Dominica pottery, which wasn't too far from where I lived. And I saw what they were doing, so I decided that summer I would go back there. And I spent a month or two there learning to throw on the wheel, which is different from hand building.
Is that the most challenging aspect for you?
Well, yes, but once you get the hang of it, then you're able to, produce a lot more. Whereas hand building, you're there, you're going through all the, coiling, building, it's slow, right? So I liked the vibe of the wheel once I got it. but it took a while for me to get it. I won't tell you how I got to get it.
Now we know you're the owner of the Potter's House. Can you tell us what type of pottery do you create?
Well, today I started the Potter's House back in 1999 on the Bay Road. I had my house there, and I grew up to go back. Potters seemed to have resonated with me, so I called it the Potter's House. I don't know if it was from T.D. Jakes, but anyway, the Potter's House evolved, and I called it the Potter's House Studio and Gallery. I make cups, I make bowls, I make vases, jugs, plant pots, all those sorts of things. Quite a wide plates. Over the years, small plate-like bowls have been one of my major sellers. I've also taught camp. I've taught camp to children. I've had workshops with people, all adults and children alike. I used to do a summer program with children. And so that's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be back to talk with you a little more right after this. Stay tuned, everyone.
Everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart. And always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
Has anyone ever touched you here, here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We are joined by the multi-talented Carla Astafan. And we've seen your work, and it's always so beautifully designed, Carla. Some of it was being shown as you were talking as well. Does living on an island provide the kind of inspiration that you think goes into your art, or do your influences come from any place?
Well, since I started, I tried to put in what I felt was the Caribbean or Kittian flavor. Mm-hmm. So you would find in the days when I was doing hand building, I would try and paint. I had worked with Kate Spencer, and I had picked up some techniques for painting. So I painted in acrylics, maybe scenery, beach scenes, try to capture that on my work. I also try to use the national colors a lot. So I was hand painting everything back in those days, where, the red, green, and yellow, the Rasta colors or the island colors. I also liked our history. I'm very much into history. So the motifs that I used were coming from the Kalinago, who were the first people here. So I would go to the museum and, go through and see which ones resonated with me. So whether it was the wave pattern, whether it is the markings down at Old Road, all of those things I've done. I've put it into my work to, really bring home St. Kitts, make it, something that visitors and locals would want to buy. Yeah.
So we preserve our culture as well. So
yeah.
Very good.
So when it comes to custom pieces, do you have any requests from your clients?
Yes, I do. I mean,
I've done unique requests.
I've done work. Most recent that's coming to mind was doing some pieces for the governor who wanted to give pieces to the president of Taiwan a few years ago, a couple years ago. So I did some pieces specifically for that and put their names on and, put the information on. I recall, I think Dr. Douglas gave a piece to the Queen many years ago. So I've had my share of
So you've been to Buckingham Palace.
I was on the set of Young and the Restless when they came to St. Kitts in
I remember that. Yes.
Yes, they were on Nevis. So I was on the set of it and so on. So, but I've done, if people come to me, like I've made a lot of work, say for places like Sunling, Cantors, Four Seasons, when groups are coming. So they would order bowls or plates and that sort of thing. People from overseas find my website and they request, they want to do this. The room gifts are a big thing. So that is what I've done a lot over the years.
And speaking of your website, what is your website?
My website, www.thepottershouseStKitts.com.
All right.
Yeah, thepottershouseStKitts.com.
And do you have a number as well that they can contact you at?
Yes, 662-5545. My cell phone. But the Potter's House is going, I don't know, am I preempting your questions?
Please.
No.
Go right ahead, Carla. Go right ahead.
Okay, so I last year, tourism put forth a program which was called the UNDP UE Frankfurt School of Business Business Adaptation Program. And I signed on and participated. It was a 12-week business improvement program where we did digital, technical, marketing, finance, all of the upgrading of our skills. And at the end of the day, we had to present a business proposal, which I submitted. And what I always wanted to do, what people have been asking me, I saw Crystal, and Crystal did pottery with me, handmade. I did Let's Make Cups, right? But one thing people have always wanted to do here, they want to learn the wheel, because everyone has seen the movie Ghost.
Yes.
And so they want to come. And I've had people come over the years. I remember there are two raw students, they just got engaged. I follow them on Facebook. And they came to my studio and they did their ghost thing, right? So people want to do the ghost thing. So I decided that instead of just teaching hand building, why not teach people the wheel? And people had been asking me about teaching the wheel. I had only 2 wheels. So I've taught the wheel to children when they come to my camp. But I needed more for me to teach. I wanted to have a place where people can come. After work, you want to de-stress. You want to get into that little vibe of being on the wheel, get your partner behind you and hug the wheel with you. So if you want to learn pottery, the wheel thrown pottery. So that's the way the Potter's House is going. So we are going to be teaching a lot. I'm creating a space where people can come and learn pottery.
I'm curious to know if your students are actually going to learn the wheel faster than you did.
Well, maybe. But I think, they could. Because over the years you've mastered the techniques and shortcuts, to teach people. So that's. I'm hoping that people will want to do this. There's a lot of paint your own, and so now people will be able to make their own pottery, basically. Yeah.
Indeed, yeah, and that's something very fascinating. Maybe we'll be there.
Yeah, making our own pottery
Learning the
soon.
wheel. That's something that we can
Indeed,
do.
Yes, I think it's needed. I think because, pottery is very therapeutic. And so it can give people an opportunity. What I want is to give people an opportunity to experience that. People can choose whether they just want to do a one-off, come make pottery, come back, glaze their pieces that survived. If people really want to get into it, then they do a program for how many weeks. So I'll offer packages, different packages that people will be able to participate in, So, and that is being done in other places. It's being done where people, find that pottery is a good way to release.
And relax.
It also gives our students a chance. Those who are doing pottery in the art program, they now have a chance to come and learn the wheel as well, so that they could make more interesting pieces.
Great. Well, we'll be back in a moment, and when we come back, we're going to have a special treat. Kala's going to give us a special treat, actually. So you'll have to stay to find out what that is. See you on the other side of the break.
It's been 6 months now and Glenn hasn't been working. His attitude has completely changed and he's been leaving the house every day for hours and liming with his friends and coming home drunk and causing confusion.
Gloria, this is what you cook today? This is not enough food for a big man like me.
But Glenn, it's been 6 months now. You haven't given me any money to shop for food.
Okay, so what you want me to do if my boss ain't called me out for work as yet?
Look for a different job now.
What you just said to me?
Get a next job.
What?
Help! Let me
Let
go!
go what? Yeah, let's see what we happen. Let go what? Watch your mouth with me now.
Every day mom and dad fight. When are they going to stop?
Domestic violence is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, economical, and psychological. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492, Special Victims Unit 662-7077, Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
You're watching Good Morning SKN. We are joined by the distinguished Potter, Carla Estefan. But she's an overall creative, and so now she is going to show us just how her flavor of poetry is delivered. I can't wait. Take it away, Carla.
Okay, thank you. And I'm just going to offer one of the poems that I did. It's called Birdwatch. Bird watching. Are birds really free? I wondered as I watched the white frigates hovering over the choppy waters at Frigate Bay. Wings fluttering at quick speed, they survey the water below, searching for their next meal. Do they worry, like we do, as to where our next meal comes from? Or will we even have a meal? They seem to communicate. Up and down they go, crisscrossing each other. One bird finally swoops in for a dive. Then with a change of mind, it goes vertical again, fluttering, searching, swoops again. A short dive this time. I watch, amazed. Prize in mouth, the bird shakes off her wings, free to fly away. Trophy secure within her beak. The other bird joins. They seem to kiss. I wonder, could they have quickly shared the prize from below? I watch them fly away. Soon a brown pelican appears, skirting the water, seeking her meal below the choppy waters. I could watch birds all day. They glide free, dancing over the choppy Caribbean Sea. Thank you.
I love that. You took me there as if I was looking at the birds, and I have to say, you are multi-talented indeed, Colin.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing some of your experiences with us. I'm certain our viewers appreciate it, and thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to
I've
see
been
you.
looking at you for for a few months now, so I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be a part of this, and I hope I get to come again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. More Good Morning SKN in a moment, everyone. Stay tuned.
Self-health management refers to the measures people take to manage their own health. You and I should remember to wash hands often with soap and water, or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid touching your eyes, mouth, and nose. Take your temperature morning and evening. Watch for symptoms. Persons with diabetes or hypertension are reminded to take your medication regularly as prescribed. If you have no symptoms, you may carry out your normal routine and boost your immune system. When you are outside, avoid public spaces and wear a mask at all times. If you develop symptoms, put on a mask and seek medical care. Do not take public transportation. Inform the doctor of your travel history, any contact with confirmed or suspected cases, your occupation, and whether anyone around you has similar symptoms. If you become ill, please rest at home. Wear a mask and isolate yourself from others in your household. If you share a bathroom, disinfect daily using 1 part bleach to 10 parts water. Everyone must work together to reduce the spread of the coronavirus.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
These teen boys nowadays get me so upset. I see these teen girls with their big bellies and you want to tell me y'all couldn't protect her and yourself? Come on. Now don't tell me no stupidness about you feel embarrassed about getting a pack of condoms or asking somebody for one. That ain't nothing to be ashamed about. You should be proud that you are making a wise decision, but you still have to abstain from having sex with someone under the age of consent. If your boys are pressuring you to have sex and you don't want to, then don't. You are in charge of your life, not them. I heard another one saying it's sweeter without a condom, but my granny always told me, no glove, no love. So let me tell you something. It's sweeter to have money in your pockets and not have to support a child at that young age. Before I say anything else, the best way to prevent teenage pregnancy is to abstain. In other words, no do it. Let me talk to the big men troubling underage girls.
Why you sleeping with your daughter? You not live clean. Your girl at 16 and your daughter at 13. So girl look me, but me no in that. Big man no deal with back pan back.
You understand where I'm coming from, right?
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Origami is the act of paper folding. Its name derives from the Japanese words ori, folding, and kami, paper. Traditional origami consists of folding a single sheet of square paper, often with a colored side, into a sculpture without cutting, gluing, taping, or even marking it. Inspired by the poem of our previous guest, Carla Astafan, entitled Birdwatch, Jamie and I are going to be making, or at least attempting to make, origami birds. We have our square paper here already. So we show both sides of our paper. All right, now we are going to follow the instructions. So we fold the top point of the paper and the bottom point, making an upside down triangle.
Well, hold on. All of a sudden, though, you're very serious when you're talking about this. No more trash talk from you? Where's the trash talk? Where'd that person go?
Let me begin. Let me begin so I can win this one. Let me begin so I can win this one.
So we're going to fold the top point of the paper to... Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah. Making it an upside down triangle.
Oh.
See, I already got this. Look.
Making it upside
Crease
down.
Crease well.
Oh, man, tell me slant it on the diagonal. Anyway, sorry, this is just me.
Why you gotta be so bougie?
This is what it is. We got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so our second step is?
Fold the top edge down about halfway down and don't make this flap too thin because it'll be the wings. Right?
Wow. I'm like a bird. I always fly away.
Okay, we're trash singing now. I don't know if you guys heard that, right? Because she's like a bird and we're yeah, there we go. Alrighty, so we've got it. No more trash talk, just trash sing. Step number 3. Here we go. Alright, so flip the paper over to the other side. Well, I think that's self-explanatory. Okay,
Yeah,
we flipped
we
it.
did
That's
that.
step 3.
Step 4, take the bottom corner of the top layer.
Sound like a New Yorker.
Yeah.
Corner. Alright, take the bottom corner of the top layer and fold it where? Up.
Up. Yep.
Bottom corner and fold it up. Ooh.
Bottom or top corner? Bottom. Woo, woo, woo. Hee hee.
Alright.
I can see my bird.
For
I
once
can see my bird.
in my life, on this show, I'm actually following instructions to the letter.
I know.
Let's not jinx it.
Okay, so we're gonna fold the left section over the right, aligning the wings together. Look at this. Origami Picasso's. Look at us.
I'm just curious as to whether they say fold, right? So I'm gonna fold. I'm gonna fold. Looks like a plane.
It's a bird.
Wow.
It's a
I'm
plane.
actually following instructions.
Wow. Mine doesn't look like that. Why?
Here we go.
Mine looks funnier. Okay, then we have to fold the right section back over to the left, leaving a gap. Wow.
Fold the right section. Sorry, give me
My
one.
God, this is hard.
I'm gonna say this again. Fold the right section back over to the left,
Leaving a gap.
Okay, and well, that's it.
And notice that the triangular sections align. Mine's not aligning.
Fold the right section. Let me see that one again.
Oh my God.
I think I'm lost.
This is not working.
Fold the right section, which is the right section, back over to the left. You're leaving a gap.
I just turned mine over.
Yeah, let's go. Leave a gap.
Mine's not
And
working.
notice the triangular section aligns with the...
Mine's not doing.
At this point, this is so funny. At this point, we're going to take a break and we're going to figure this out during the break. And we're going to come back and show you our whimsical designs. Yeah, we're going to take flight in a second. Stay tuned, everyone. Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. So, yes, I don't think there was enough time to let our birds take flight. As you can see, mine is already tanking. That being said, yes. We're going to try this one again, Kortensia.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Maybe I get better luck when you say.
Oh my gosh. So we're going to fold the right section back over to the left, leaving a gap. Notice the triangular section aligns with the edge of the underneath. Oh my gosh. I don't know what else to... Boy, this is harder than it looks.
Wait a minute. Just fold the right section back over to the left, leaving
Which we did.
a gap.
So the right over to the left?
Huh? Let's see. Did you get it?
Ta-da!
Let me see what you did. Fold the right section back over to the left.
So, no.
Like that?
No. Right to the left. That's what this is what I did. Yeah.
Wow. Instructions and the people who follow them.
I
or
know.
should. Let's go. We got it. Thank you, Kortensia.
You are welcome.
And we're on to step number 7, finally.
So we're gonna flip the paper over to the other side from left to right.
Flip the paper over to the other side from left to right.
Yeah.
Really? Oh.
Is this it? Boy, I'm getting my... Oh boy. My bird ain't looking like a bird. From left to right.
Flip the paper over to the other side.
Yeah, I did that.
From left to right. Just turn it.
Oh my god.
Got it. Wow. Finally. Finalmente.
Okay. Fin. And then get ready to create. Fold the section over to line with the right section. Oh my god.
For you guys at home, I feel like you deserve a prize for watching us go through this.
Yeah, this is.
I wish we had popcorn coming out of the television for you.
What?
Unfortunately, we don't.
Why
Wish we had popcorn here.
I know.
Alrighty.
Will Nadia pop up today? Oh man.
Hi, you're so funny.
This bird is hard. I don't know what else to do with this bird.
Fold the section over to align with the right section. Oh, wow. Okay.
So fold this?
Yeah. At this point,
Is this my bird?
I have faith in you.
Flap, 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 flap.
My abilities, however, well, yeah. We'll see. I think I'm beginning to lose faith in my...
Look, my bird. My bird is flapidocious.
That's your bird. Okay. Turn it. Let's do it. 3. Yeah, that's a better shot.
Look.
Do it forward. Yeah. Looking there. So fold a beak over. Fold a beak shape over and flatten the origami. All right. So you do your thing and I'll do mine because what I'm doing right now is like origami on steroids. I'm just gonna do my thing. All right. I'm gonna be creative.
Look at my
I'm gonna get it
birdie. I may have lost earlier, but I'm back. See, I'm a real Picasso. Picasso. Look.
This is like Battleship meets Seagull. I'm just saying. Battleship meets Seagull, okay? Here we
Look
go.
at my birdie. It's good to be a girl after all.
Yeah, you got it. All right, so there you go. That was great. Kortensia, you got this one.
I got the eye for art. What is that? A boat word?
All right.
A boat and a bird?
Yes. So you got to tell us at home which one. It's a hybrid. I told you. You guys don't appreciate technology. Look at where we're going. Go back to James Bond. He has those devices that are, dare I say, amphibian in nature. Amphibian in nature. That car that goes, it becomes a submarine and all that stuff. But this one can do none of that. No, tell us which ones you like the most. And I know out there that you guys who can appreciate technology and where I'm going with this.
With the boat word.
Can appreciate seeing mine take flight. We'll even leave, the Earth and we'll float around in space and you'll just be here on Earth.
Yeah.
I like hers, by the way. Anyway, let us know at Studio 327 Inc., okay? Studio 327 Inc. With that being said, I'm going to go fly, but we'll be back in a second. See you in a while.
Boat word.
Oh.
When growing your savings,
and I'm doing my part in the fight against COVID-19 by following
dare to compare and see You should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. After that fun segment myself and Jamie just had, we are going to let you know what else is happening.
Well, that was what was not happening.
It happened. It flew.
Now we're getting on to what's
The boat word flew. It flew. So cooking classes. Cooking class with European chef. A European chef with over 20 years of experience is hosting a cooking class to teach you how to make classic pizza from scratch. For easy $135, you will learn how to make your own pizza dough, properly store it, make your own pizza, how to properly cut a variety of pizza fillings, and how to make classic pizza sauce. After class, each student will get to eat their own creation and enjoy a complimentary glass of wine. This event takes place tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Baster Art Gallery and Restaurant on North Independence Square Street. You don't want to miss out on this. To book, send a WhatsApp message to 661-6877. Once again, to book, you can send your WhatsApp messages to 661-6877.
I'm just imagining myself being there, like, flipping that thing around. Have you not realized what a great student I am when it comes to following other people's instructions?
With your both words?
Could you imagine me doing this? Like, seriously. Wow. That is a... Yeah, I hope I'm not giving...
I can see you doing that and sculpting a picture of your face at the same time. Flap.
Oh, the shade. Somebody turn off the lights in here. It just got really, really dark. That being said, let's move on to what else is happening, all right? So, Electro Music Night. Royal St. Kitts Hotel is hosting an Electro Music Night on Thursday, February 25th from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. There will be food specials, $5 cocktails, and music by
Katai.
You see, I thought it, and I'm looking at it, and we don't have the thought, so I'm like, am I right? Katai Entertainment and KC5. I love it. All right. So check your Friday plans off your to-do list and enjoy an electro music night at the Royal St. Kitts Hotel. I know who's probably going to be there, considering is electro music the same thing as techno music?
Techno music, yeah.
You got any dance moves you want to show?
No, not today.
Guys, if Kortensia shows you these dance moves, what's going to happen is that when you get to that event, you're going to be doing the Kortensia. Or we're going to call it a K for short. You're going to do the K. Anybody wants to do the K? What's the K? What's your signature move? What's your signature move? What's the K?
I can't show you.
K stands for kick and K stands for kangaroo because or karate, which also begins with a K segment the other day. We kicked each other and you said today that your spirit animal is also a
kangaroo.
So the move on the dance floor is going to be a kick. Watch out.
You're giving away my secrets here. We move on to what else is happening. There is an acoustic concert. Erica Edwards will be hosting a Love and Emancipation virtual concert on Sunday, the 27th of February at 6 p.m. This event will feature Yushika Francis and Shara Brown. Music will be played by Damian Hobson and Shaquille Benjamin. Stephen Richards will oversee the audio production. This event will be directed and executively produced by Shadan Productions. Erica will be performing a few of her original songs from her upcoming album and more. Don't miss it. Don't you dare miss it.
Ooh, so many things to do. So many things to do. How will you decide? Good thing they're on different dates, right?
I know.
And we're continuing with this one. Greenhouse Band is performing live. So Greenhouse Band will be performing live on the beat at Yachtsman Grill on Sunday, February 27th. And if you don't know Greenhouse Band, well, we're going to inform you. It's a band made up of 4 members. Oh, the first one, and I can stay right there. Hang on. I can stay right there on that first one. Jazik Shiverton. If you didn't check our interview with Jazik, you're missing it. Jazik Shiverton is in that band. Jari Jones, Mark Willett, and Travis Thompson. The band mixes its own Caribbean flavors with the Irie vibes, which is sure to push you to your feet. And if Kortensia is going to be there, yeah, you'll be
doing the K. Doing the K.
Dinner will be from 5:30 p.m., so book your table today. Contact Yachtsman Grill by calling 469-1382 or email them at yachtsmanhost@gmail.com. That's yachtsmanhost@gmail.com. So that being said, so many things to do. We don't know what we're going to do.
I think I'm going to go to Nevis, the Yachtsman, and I'll be doing the K over there.
You'll be doing the K. Well, it's better than doing the K here. Guys, I got kicked already, all right? So I'm just telling you. K, Kortensia, kick, karate, kangaroo. That's 5 Ks in your favor.
I know.
All right. So, guys, we're going to take a very brief break, and we'll be back in a moment. Oh, wow.
No break.
What am I saying? We're not taking a break? So we're just going to say goodbye like that? Oh, my gosh. I can't believe it. Where does the time go?
I know.
I really thought that
when you're having
back.
so much fun with the K.
So we're not coming back in a few seconds. We're not coming back in a few seconds. We're actually going to have to come back tomorrow.
Yeah, in a few hours, though.
Oh, that's
in a few hours.
That's so sad.
Yeah, so they'll have enough time to prep and prepare to look forward to these beautiful faces.
Well, speak for yourself. I don't know if they're I don't know if they're going to suffer from any withdrawal symptoms or anything like that. But you can check us out on YouTube. Videos are there, so you have enough to tide you over. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Snapchat. TikTok. We're on Facebook at Studio 327 Inc. Like, subscribe, and follow us.
To get plenty more content, yeah?
Yeah, and what else do we want them to do? You know.
Leave us a comment and tell us what topics and guests you'd like to see next. This is the part. So we'll see you tomorrow again, right here on Good Morning SKM. At what time?
She's not going to kick you out of this, okay? We're just going to say bye.
8 a.m.
See you at 8. Bye-bye.
Have a good one.